Yeah, let's get started then with the tens of thousands of English fans that are in Bilbao or desperately trying to get there for this all-English Europa League final tonight. It is a big one, isn't it? Spurs and Manchester United. The winners will get a trophy. Obviously, is important, but maybe not as important as a place in next season's Champions League. We've got full commentary right here on 5 Live and BBC Sounds.
I truly believe that I'm the right guy in the right moment.
I'll keep on winning trophies till I finish, so don't worry about my future.
Tottenham fans shaking their heads all around us.
The body language that looks so despondent, and Old Trafford is emptying quickly.
2 wins in the last 13 home games here in the Premier League for those Tottenham Hotspur supporters to digest.
Unfortunately for a lot of you, you're going to have to put up with me for a little bit longer, mate.
Manchester United lose at home. That's 9 defeats here, a club record amount.
The worst team, maybe, in history of Manchester United.
Harry Maguire! Harry Maguire's header! Knocked over the goal line by Dominic Solanke, the hero for Tottenham in northern Norway tonight.
We have an all-English Europa League final. Manchester United taking on Tottenham Hotspur, and what's going to happen in that is anybody's guess.
Oh, it's all building up quite nicely,
Very
isn't
dramatic, that, isn't it?
Yeah, I like it. Now, it got pretty tetchy at Tottenham manager Ange Postecoglou's pre-match press conference. The Evening Standard's Dan Kilpatrick wrote earlier this week that the Australian was teetering between being a hero and a clown, depending on how the final goes. Here's how he responded.
Irrespective of tomorrow, I'm not a clown. I never will be, mate. And you're really disappointed that you would use such terminology about a person who, for 26 years, without any favours from anyone, has worked his way to be in a position where he's leading out a club in a European major competition. For you to suggest that somehow us not being successful means that I'm a clown, not really sure how to answer that question.
Spiky, isn't it? I get nervous listening to the answer. It's spiky.
No, but I think it's sort of justified as well. If someone accused you of being a clown,
As they often do.
you know, would you be able to respond in a cool, calm manner? I don't know, particularly on the eve of a big game.
Yeah, I thought he was very dignified, wasn't he, I suppose, in that reply. But it shows how much is on the line here. Now, as for Ruben Amorim, he seems confident his future is safe, and that is despite a poor season for Man United.
We are doing things that we need to do it. But for example, I came from the club that in order to survive and to maintain players, you need to be in Champions League. This is not the case. Our club can have revenues without Champions League. It's a big club. It's a massive club with a lot of fans around the world. It's a big brand. So we just need to be focused and do the things in the right way.
Sorry, that should be Manchester United. I get picked up on that. Every time I say Man United, I get told off. So, Manchester United on tonight. Now, let's speak to 2 fans out in Bilbao. We've got Spurs fan Chris Cowlin on the line and Manchester United fans James Young. Thanks for being with us, lads.
No worries. Good morning.
Chris, I'll start with you firstly. What did you make of that reply from Ange? You know, just before a big fine like this, should he be, calm, cool and collected? Maybe he was calm, cool and collected, or do you think he's showing a bit too much emotion? What do you think?
No, I think there's a lot of disrespect towards Ange Postecoglou, actually, and I think it's been like that all season, actually, and there shouldn't be any negativity around Tottenham Hotspur Football Club the day before such a huge game. Yes, it's been a very rough season, but this is a huge game for the football club. It shouldn't be about Ange Postecoglou. It shouldn't be about him at all. It should be about the football club, trying to deliver success and get that trophy and get Champions League football next season. But I feel like Ange Postecoglou, of course, needs to defend himself, needs to defend the players as well. But I think there's been a lot of disrespect this season for him.
Yeah, do you think, though, that the result will make an impact on his future? You're not thinking about that?
I feel like Ange Postecoglou will probably leave at the end of the season. I don't feel like we can go on playing the same way in Premier League football because we're sitting in 17th. It's the manner of some of the defeats in league competition. But, we've got a real opportunity for the football club. Ange Postecoglou himself has got a real opportunity to deliver a trophy in his second season. Once again, he said that so often So I feel like if Ange delivers the trophy, I feel like it'd be like that mic drop moment of saying, well, there you are, there's your trophy. And I feel like Spurs will then probably appoint a new manager come the new season. But I feel like it would be a wonderful moment for all that Spurs go into the Champions League next season, and Ange, delivers what he always says he would deliver.
Yeah. James, from a United perspective, Chris was saying there's been a pretty poor season for Spurs. They're in 17th. Manchester United not doing much better in 16th with just 39 points. Haven't won in your last 5 league games. How important is this night for you?
Well, it's massive, because not only for the future of the team, but also for the people that work at Old Trafford as well. There's less home games next season in terms of those midweek games. It means there's less work for people that work outside the ground. There's just to contextualise that, in terms of hotel bookings, things like that, it makes a massive impact on Manchester, because a lot of the tourism revolves around football. So United need to get European football next season because they need to invest in the squad. But also from an economy perspective, it has a big impact on the city.
Well, James, I was staying in the football hotel, as it happens, last night next to the ground. So it's clearly it's a big part of that part of Manchester, isn't it? And I suppose it's just there's a bit of a feeling around the club at the moment that's quite negative, isn't it, James? With all the Ruben Amorim having to pay for some of the staff to go out and their friends and family and things, and the cutbacks and the changes to the season ticket holder stuff. Does all those issues, do they all go away with the trophy in Champions League football?
They don't go away, but it makes it easier. I mean, Eric Ten Hag won the FA Cup last season and can hold on to his job, and Louis van Gaal won the FA Cup and got sacked the following day. So there's no guarantee that it's going to fix everything, but it makes his job a lot easier in terms of, like I said, being able to bring in players over the summer and sign the players that maybe he couldn't do in January because he's got more money to play with. But no European football next season is going to make it really hard. If that happens, but let's not forget, United are unbeaten in Europe this season, the only unbeaten team left in every European competition. They beat Lyon, Athletic Club, some really good teams to get to the final. So they're a different side in Europe. So I think it's going to be really interesting what happens tonight, because it's the first time they're playing a Premier League team in this competition. Yeah,
a bit of positivity from James. What do you think, Chris? How are you feeling about this one? Do you fancy your chances?
I do, actually. I feel like this is Tottenham's this is Tottenham's turn. 17 long years without a domestic trophy, 41 years without a European trophy. I just feel like this is Tottenham's turn, and we need to show up. Every single player needs to deliver. I quite often say, and I've said this all the way to this final, that do these players want to be remembered for finishing 17th in the Premier League table, or do they want to have their faces and photos on the wall of being heroes lifting a European trophy? And it's just such a great opportunity for us to, have Champions League football next season, and just put that trophy in the cabinet, which is just so long awaited. But I do feel very confident.
Yeah.
My voice, you probably can hear, is quite rough, because we were all singing last night. The fan base, unreal last night in Bilbao. Yeah. Everyone was out singing, and I just feel like this is our turn.
Couple of shandies for you, Chris, then, was it? And celebration. James, Chris has set the context up massively there. Same question to you, I suppose. And then we'll let you go on and enjoy the spirit of Bilbao. How are you feeling ahead of tonight? You said it's the first time you're playing a Premier League team. Can you get over the line?
I think so. I mean, you can probably hear the suitcases in the background. I'm in Bilbao coach station. I've just got a 10-hour coach from Paris. And the coach station is right next to Sam Ahmed, and the sun's kind of rising just outside, and I've got this amazing view in front of me. So Bilbao's a great city. I was here for the semi-final the other week as well, which was so good, and the locals are really welcoming. The food's brilliant. Beer's cheap. It's a great place to have a final. The only issue is just slightly small in terms of hotels and that type of thing. But I'm really excited to see United in the European final again. The last time I saw them was in the Europa League final against Villarreal, and I went into quarantine for 14 days after and saw them lose a shootout 11-10 on penalties. So I hope this
it can't be that bad. Yeah. Well, James, enjoy your beautiful view of that European vista. And thanks for being with us here on 5 Live to talk about that big match and set up the context of why this is so important. It's been brilliant having you on the show, and safe journey back from Bilbao, however you are getting home. Of course, 5 Live Sports going to be bringing you full commentary of the Europa League final with Ian Dennis and Paul Robinson on duty tonight. Mark Chapman's going to have all the build-up from 7, and then kick-off is at 8 p.m. So loads coming.